to my YouTube channel, Math with Sophia J. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe, as well as give me a follow on Facebook. Today, we're going to be reading Let's Estimate, a book about estimating and rounding numbers by DavidA.Adler. Let's get into it. How old are you? Did you answer 10, 11, or 12? What you answered is probably not your exact age. It's your approximate age. If today is not your birthday, you should have said about 10, 11, or 12. Of course, when someone asks your age, it would be odd to give them your exact age. It would be odd if you answered, I am 10 years, 7 months, 4 days, 3 hours, and 12 minutes old. And your age keeps changing. Now, you may be 10 years, 7 months, 4 days, 3 hours, and 12 minutes old. Soon, you'll be 10 years, 7 months, 4 days, 3 hours, and 13 minutes old. When someone asks how old you are, he wants to know about how old you are, or how old you were on your last birthday. Many times, an approximate answer is just as good as an exact answer. Sometimes, it's even better. I am 68 million years, 7 months, 4 days, 3 hours, and 11 minutes old. If someone were to ask you the population of the United States, you might answer 320 million. For most purposes, that's a perfectly acceptable answer, but it's not an exact answer. It's an estimation. The population of the United States is about 320 million. It would be difficult to give the exact population of the United States. Each day, people are born and people die. People move to the United States and people leave. The population keeps changing. It's often important to estimate. When you're food shopping, it's good to estimate the total cost of all the items in your cart. You need to know how you have enough money to pay it all. How would you estimate the total cost of the items in your cart? You might try rounding the cost of each item and then adding them. When you estimate, you make an educated guess at an actual number. When you round a number, you change it so that it's easier to work with the number. Estimating is not rounding. Rounding is not estimating. But rounding can help you to estimate. Do you have enough money to pay for this? For example, you might have a box of cereal in your cart, and its cost might be $3.95. That's about $4, so you round the cost of the cereal to $4. You might have a quart of milk in your cart, and its cost might be $1.95. That's about $2, so you round the cost of the quart of milk to $2. You might have 3 bananas in your cart, and the cost of each might be 30 cents. Together, the 3 bananas cost about 90 cents. You might even round the 90 cents to $1. After rounding the cost of the cereal, milk, and bananas, you add them. 4 plus 2 plus 1 equals $7. You would estimate the cost of the items in your cart to be $7. The actual cost of the items in your cart is $6.80. Rounding numbers makes it easier to estimate. We can see how the cereal went from $3.95 to $4, and the milk rounded from $1.95 to $2. And the 3 bananas went from 90 cents to $1 as our estimate. So the estimated cost is $7 and the actual cost is $6.80. And you could round the actual cost to the estimated cost. It's especially important to estimate when you use a calculator. Here's a multiplication problem Sarah has for her homework. 19 times 11. 19 is just 1 less than 20, and 11 is just one more than 10. Since 20 times 10 is 200, Sarah estimates that 19 times 11 is about 200. But the answer on her calculator is 2,109. That's a lot more than her estimate. But does the problem again? This time, the answer on the calculator is 209. 209 is close to her estimate of 200. What happened? The first time Sarah did the problem on her calculator, she made the mistake and multiplied 19 by 111 instead of 11. By estimating before she did the problem, she knew her first answer was wrong. If your estimate is very different from the answer on your calculator, you made a mistake. To make her estimate, Sarah rounded both 19 and 11 to the nearest 10. Rounding is helpful when you estimate. When you estimate, you guess what the actual number is. But when you round a number, you know the actual number, but you change it to a number that is easier to use. There are no real rules for estimating, just that you try to get close to the actual number. There are rules for rounding. Rounding is often done to the nearest 10, the nearest 100, the nearest 1,000, and higher. When you round to the nearest 10, you look at the digit just to the right of the tens placed. If it is 5 or more, you round up. And if it's less than 5, you round down. So, if you're rounding by tens, you look at the number in the ones place. And if the number in the ones place is 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, you're going to round down. But if it is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, you round up. In the number 463, this digit 6 is in the tens place. The digit just to its right is 3. 3 is less than 5, so you round down. 463 rounded to the nearest 10 is 460. The T-Rex ate about 460 cookies. In the number 1,248, digit 4 is in the tens place, and the digit to its right is 8. 8 is more than 5, so you round up. 1,248 rounded to the nearest 10 is 1,250. The Empire State Building is about 1,250 feet tall. To round to the nearest 100, look at the digit in the 100th place. In the number 427, the digit 4 is in the 100th place. The digit just to its right is 2. 2 is less than 5, so you round down. 427 rounded to the nearest hundredth is 400. Dinah weighs about 400 pounds. In the number 4,162, the digit 1 is in the 100th place. The digit just to its right is 6. 6 is more than 5, so you round up. 4,162 rounded to the nearest hundredth is 4,200. When you round a number to the nearest 100, all digits to the right of the 100th place will become zeros. T-Rex weighs about 4,200 pounds. To round to the nearest thousandth, look at the digit in the thousands place. In the number 2,862, the digit 2 is in the thousands place. The digit just to its right is 8. 8 is more than 5, so you round up. 2,862 rounded to the nearest thousandth is 3,000. It's about 3,000 miles from California to the East Coast. In the number 238,915, the digit 8 is in the thousands place. The digit just to its right is 9. 9 is more than 5, so you round up. 238,915 rounded to the nearest thousandth is 239,000. When you round a number to the nearest thousands, all the digits to the right of the thousands place will be zeros. It's about 239,000 miles from Earth to the Moon. People often use rounded numbers. When the newspaper reports that 115 million people watched the Super Bowl, surely the number of viewers has been rounded to the nearest million. People often estimate. When you decide how much pizza to buy for a party, you estimate how much your friends will eat. When someone says, "I'll be at your house in 20 minutes, that's an estimate. Pizza will be delivered in about 20 minutes. When someone says, "I spent $300 shopping," surely he rounded the amount he spent to the nearest 10. Pick any two-digit numbers. Estimate what your answer would be if you multiplied them. Use what you learned about rounding numbers to help you make your estimate. Use a calculator to multiply the numbers. How close was your estimate to the actual answer? Estimating and rounding are very useful skills. The more you estimate and round numbers, the better you'll get at it. Yummy! I spent about $300 on pizza. Wow, that's a lot of pizza. How many steps does it take to walk from your house to the next? How many houses are there on your block? Estimate how many steps it will take you to walk from one end of your block to the other. Then, count as you walk. How close was your estimate to the actual number of steps? So mathematicians, what did we learn today? We learned that when you estimate, you make an educated guess on an approximate amount. We also learned that rounding means making a number simpler by keeping its value close to what it is. And finally, estimating and rounding are very useful when dealing with a lot of numbers or larger numbers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Goodbye, mathematicians!